Hey y'all, it's your girl Toyia T, and today we have a show all about home and garden. And what better to feature some of this beautiful artwork from La Femme Noir Artistry. And they have a elegance art show coming up on May 21st. So you can see this picture behind me. I don't know which way to turn, but you can see this picture behind me just a little bit, just kind of a sneak peek of what will be in store for you at the art show. So you have to make sure to go and check it out. And with that, I'm going to bring in our guests and allow them to introduce themselves so that we can talk to you a little bit about the home and the garden and what to expect as we move into spring. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hey
I'm
there.
so excited to have you guys on the show today. We're going to talk everything home and garden. I'm going to give you a chance to just do a brief introduction so the guests know who's on the show, what they can learn from you, and how they might be able to tap into some of your beautiful things as the spring starts to unfold. So I'll start with Sheila because we always like to do ladies first.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. I'm Fashionista Sheila. I am the founder and CEO of Fashionista Decor, and we're an interior design company, full service interior design. So that includes not only decor, but also construction and all things related. And we've been in business for a couple of years, started right at the crux of COVID, and we've been crazy busy ever since.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to learning some little tidbits from you. So we are glad to have you on the show.
Thanks for
Next
having
up,
us.
Deron, do you want to do a brief introduction?
Hi, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. Just trying to make sure I got that everybody can hear me well. But yep, Deron Daniels. Yeah, I'm our co-founder and executive director here, the Heights Movement, and we have Jackson Street Farms. So Jackson Street Farms is a 10,000 square foot produce market right in the middle of Lincoln Heights. So what we really wanted to focus on is making sure, especially during the height of the pandemic, when everybody didn't have a good source of fresh fruits, fresh produce. How can we provide that? We want to make sure we provided it and taught residents how to also grow it too. You know, it's one thing to give a man a fish. It's another thing if you could teach a man how to fish as well. So we've been doing a little bit more than just teaching people how to fish, but it's been fantastic over these past 3 years. We've been involved in the space and looking forward to showing it to you all as we continue to have this conversation.
Absolutely. We love to see it. Obviously, spring has sprung, and we're trying to get some of those things that you can do to prepare your home and garden. I know, Durance, you're going to show us a little bit about the garden, but I'd like to ask Sheila to talk a little bit about what would make a space feel fresh as you start to
Oh,
look into spring. What are some tidbits that you might like to use?
yes, I love the spring. It's an opportunity to incorporate new colors into your living spaces. My team, we specialize in revamping existing spaces. So sometimes we're using your existing furniture. We may accent with new wall art, new area rugs, new pillows, or window treatments. But there's so many ways to refresh your space without it being completely costly and being a complete overhaul. So we really enjoy doing that. And then obviously we're starting to spend a lot more time outside. So we're refreshing outdoor spaces, and even your outdoor space deserves an outdoor indoor area rug. You know, if you put that rug underneath your outdoor furniture and you put some greenery that you can get from Durant's out there and some pillows, you could just spend all night outside in your living spaces. So it's a good time
Absolutely.
to get a fresh look.
Yes, I was just thinking about putting a pop of magenta. My living room
Yes.
is like blue and yellow right now, but I'm thinking
Yep.
about adding this pop of magenta and get rid of the yellow for the spring. So we'll see if that ends up coming to existence. Duran,
Yes.
do you
You
want
should
to
do
show us
it.
a little bit of what's going on over there at the farm?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I was in attempting to try to switch my camera around. I think I just turned the whole thing out. So I'm going to try to just flip it because I can't flip my camera, but hopefully everybody can kind of see this is kind of the best view that we have here. So I'm standing in one of our box beds here, and this is all for community use here. So it may not look obviously the best right now. We're getting everything set up for our mothers and mimosas, but why it doesn't always look the best because we focus on composting. So we really want to make sure everything starts with the soil. So what does that mean on just a natural composting side? You know, the God does everything naturally. The leaves fall onto the ground. When the leaves fall onto the ground, they decompose and things of that nature. So we allow that process to still take place here in our farm. So we're getting all these beds actually cleaned up here over the next couple of weeks. But within these box beds, as you can see, you got fresh garlic that we put in here last year. If you see our red flowers that are coming up, these are all tulips. So we put
All
these
right.
in the winter. We put these in the winter time. And on Mother's Day, every mother will walk away with a tulip. We'll also walk away with some other good items that we have going on as well too. So I guess without inundating, because I didn't want to over talk it. So please just cut me off if I'm over talking to Toya, because I'll just especially when we get to talking about food in the farm. So our very first plant that we ever really put into here is our peach tree. So one of the best stories that I have when you're talking about urban farming and urban gardening in communities, because a lot of folks don't know what you can grow in your community, is a peach tree. One of the kids
Can
walked
you
by
zoom
here when
in
we
on
first
it?
started.
Can
What'd
you
you
zoom
say?
in
Oh,
on
zoom in.
it, Duran?
Yeah. Yep. So right now she's just now getting her leaves together. So
Okay.
sorry that I can't flip my camera around. So she's just now getting her leaves together. But within these leaves, you're gonna get different flowers. So this peach tree is gonna be blossoming and blooming. I'm trying to see if any of them are budding yet, but it's gonna be blossoming and blooming with beautiful peaches. So one of the great stories that we heard is that a young person came up to us and they tried one and they said, "Hey, Coach D, this tastes like a real peach." Like this, they don't get much realer than this peach right here, young man. So that was once again just a really cool experience of allowing our young people to have a true relationship with their food. And
Right.
it took place during the pandemic, and that wasn't always the best situation. In a lot of different reasons, but it did allow us to kind of come together and live during the disruption of the supply chain. Really talk about what's our connectivity with our food. So I'm just going to walk through
Absolutely.
here as well. So as you can see some of here, what we're budding right here, what all these are here are snow peas. So these will all be here, our pea row here. So we got peas we put into the ground. We got spinach that we already have in the ground. I have onions, garlic, basil, lettuce, Swiss chard, and these are all things that we started during the wintertime and last year because they're cold weather crops. They like that cold weather. They don't thrive in the summer. So we've been able to really eat all.
When will they start to really bloom to where you can start picking them and actually
Well,
eating the
so
product?
if you look here, so once again, if you're talking about your bulbs, right? We went over there and we saw our tulips, but another form of a bulb really is like your onions and your garlic. So if you see these onions here, these onions, they might look like they're ready, but they're really not ready yet. What you're looking for is a flowering or a lot of some budding of some sort. So that's what you're looking for in these items here. With your leafy plants, because those are a lot once again a lot more flexible because you're just eating those leaves here. So here's our baby spinach. So we were growing a lot of baby spinach for our I hope you guys can see that. I'm sorry. A lot of baby spinach for our salads. So we have a whole bunch of baby spinach that we're growing indoors and outdoors. And our young people at the elementary school, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of that there. So that's pretty sweet, actually, because we just had a really cool weather. So those leaves are really, really sweet. But we had our young people at the elementary school grow a lot of our seedlings. So that spinach that I just ate, our Swiss chard, our lettuce, since last January, our young people have been going in there, growing some of our seedlings, getting that started, and transporting that over into the farm. So, yeah, like I said, it always starts with your soil, focusing on how do you get those nutrients, how do you get those that what we call the plant food into the ground that really gets you a good, plentiful harvest. And once again, that all starts with the compost, and I can show you guys that section here in a second if you want to go to that
Ab-
later. But yeah,
Absolutely. So one thing I did want to ask, Durant, is more about, we've been hearing a lot about the recession lately, and obviously the pandemic has led us into this new recession conversation where people are
yeah,
really starting to want to live off of the grid or off the land and minimize their expenses so that they can maximize, truly living their lives and living it more abundantly with food that's their own. I know I've considered putting in a garden or a farm in the backyard. What are
yep.
some things that they can do now to prepare for maybe next year or 6 weeks, 8 weeks from now?
Some things we can do now. Sorry, yeah. So some things that we can do now, right? I think that was a question, Toya, because it just broke up there a little bit, right? Just some things we can do right now. First thing we do right now, it starts with seeds, and seeds might be a hard thing to go by, or sometimes a confusing thing to go by sometimes. But seeds is where I would start, especially right now, because if you start off by buying those plants, because sometimes when you go to like Home Depot or you go to like a traditional garden store and you want to buy those baby plants, right? A, they're really, really expensive. Like you're trying to get 3 or 4 plants about the same amount that you would get if you were just buying the plant in the grocery store. So that defeats the whole purpose of economically saving. But if you get you just a pack of seeds on what you specifically want to start with, that's a great way to once again have a it might sound weird, but a relationship with your food. And those things are important because it's just like if you're nurturing a child or if you're nurturing a pet, you really get to see it grow. And you have that truly, you have that kind of connectivity with it when you see it start off with just a small seed, start to branch through and really put some leaves on it. So that would be my first disadvantage. Just grab some seeds, put it into a cup, grab some soil and get it going. After that, it's kind of finding an opportunity of where if you have a backyard, build you a box bed. Once again, those might sound really complicated, but folks are making a lot of money on YouTube doing a lot of basic things, talking about how to build box beds. But they really are very simple. Sorry, I keep trying to switch my camera, but it turns it off. But so if you
Well,
look where we're at
speaking of
right now,
YouTube,
yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
YouTube, there's a lot of little tips and tricks that you can get from YouTube, whether
Absolutely.
it be, sprucing up your garden or like Sheila was talking about earlier, putting down an outdoor rug. Are there other things people can do in terms of like small projects if they are looking for something that's a little bit more economical to do or ways to maybe be a little bit more sustainable? Um,
I,
Sheila, do you have any tidbits that you want to share there?
Yeah, so the tidbits that I have are, they're very design focused, right? So we've been seeing a lot of trends with designer walls, accent walls, where you really, this is about not spending a ton of money, but getting a whole new fresh design. So, if you are artsy and craftsy, you can absolutely go to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or Menards. You can actually get some wood, you can get a saw table, and you can actually create those accent walls yourself. Actually, in my home, my son and I, before we started marketing it to our clients, during COVID, again, because we had nothing but time, right? We have a two-story family room, so lots of wall space, and it was very bare. And we just took a two-story ladder and we did some wall paneling, and it really enhanced the entire look of that room. And it was a very minimal expense. So, there's so many different things you can do inside of your home that are less costly. Another idea we came up with was actually just redesigning a bathroom. So not changing out the fixtures necessarily, but if you've got a vanity in your bathroom, for example, if it's a double vanity or a single vanity, you can actually paint it. So that gives you a new look. You can change the hardware on it, change the faucet, change your mirror, and you can actually even add some peel and stick wallpaper. And all of a sudden, you have a whole new bathroom without having to actually renovate your bathroom space. So, for some of my clients that are trying to get a refreshed look without spending a lot of money and doing a complete reconstruction, we recommend things like that.
Okay, that sounds good. What about you, Durance? Are there little tidbits that they can start with? I know you talked about putting the seeds. Do you start the seeds in a small container inside first, or what does that typically look like?
So I was gonna even show. There's a couple things that you can do if you want to be real economical, right? Um, when we get down to the end of our toilet papers, right? Those toilet paper rolls, those cardboard bowls. That's something like very simple that you can do. Is just kind of take the last of that paper that's there, put your seeds inside of it, get those wet, let them germinate, put some soil in that tube, and you can start your seedlings like that if you want to be real economical about it. Other things
Do
you can
you
get.
have to put them into something underneath, or how do you make
No,
sure
so
that
so
it's
once you put
contained?
so once you compact just like so once you compact that soil in, that soil is going to hold your water in for you. So I know it has a tube there. If you felt like you wanted to grab a container, that's fine. You can grab a cup if you wanted to. But really what that cardboard does is it really holds all that water in together with the dirt and the soil, and it decomposes. So when you skip that and it already starts to sprout, if it already starts to germinate, when your plant's already starting to go in, all you have to do is just take that cardboard roll and put it right into the dirt. And that's going to
Oh,
decompose, and your roots are going to kind of break out as well too. So that's a real economic way to do it. In the
I
store, they're
can
selling you those type of things. Yeah. So they're selling you stuff like that right now in the store though, where you can go buy those cardboard containers, and it's that same type of way. Box bed wise though, box beds can be something that's really really expensive right now because wood is really really expensive. But even once
right.
again, you can make those economically at at a very very economic price as well too by grabbing crates, those shipping container crates that's already made out of wood. Now I just want to make sure you get the right ones that don't have any chemicals or anything about it, but those are already set. They're already into their nice square shape. They already have some rolls set in place of them. Get you some soil, make sure it's some good soil, and then just slide your seeds into it as well too. Those are some great ways. Sheila, I wanted to talk to you like later once again offline because we're actually redesigning our outdoor space in our farm as well too. We're putting up a a greenery wall like that the fox grass wall, as well as
Yeah.
the fake grass along the edges too as well too, and some lights just to try to provide that different ambiance as well too, and then trying to do it once
Yep.
again at an economic price.
At an economical
Yep.
rate.
Yeah, yeah. Try to make sure that my board does not get mad at me.
You
I
save some
got
money
you. I
for that.
got you. I got you.
And
I have some faux flower vendors.
Yeah, we.
some
Oh well,
cold flower vendors.
Yes, I have
in the
faux
house. Yeah.
um,
flowers.
okay. And Durant, I know sometimes you guys look for volunteers over at the farm. Can you tell
Yep.
us a little bit about that? How can people volunteer if they want to get involved, they want to help out at the farm, or just get closer to their food, like you said, start a relationship?
Yep. So garden clubs every Saturday at 10 a.m. You can come out to 1136 Jackson Street. That's 10 a.m. every Saturday, 1136 Jackson Street. You can join our garden club, and that's how you can volunteer to come out here, just get some things done. Over these next 3 weeks, we'll be doing a lot of weeding, a lot of moving dirt and soil to get things prepared and prepped and spiced up. So if you have a real, landscaping thumb, these next few weeks will be really fun for you. If you are more so into the actual planting, farming side of it, you might want to come after Mother's Day, but we'll still have a lot of great things for you. But once again, that's every Saturday from 10 to 12 at 1136 Jackson Street here at Jackson Street Farms.
Okay, awesome. Um, any parting words, Sheila, that you would like to share? Anything we didn't cover that you think people might need to know as we start moving in the spring? Ways that they might be able to either, prepare their house or protect their house or anything like that. Because I know you do like full construction projects too, right?
I do. And I wanted to share a lot of people I've run into are having a difficult time finding contractors. They're having a difficult time getting projects scheduled, outdoor projects, inside projects. And so I've got multiple contractors that I have a great relationship with. They're all third party, meaning they're not part of Fashionista Decor, and that's done intentionally, but they're great contractors. My clients love them. They've done a great job for them. They move quickly. So if you're interested in doing outdoor projects, indoor projects, finished basements, bathrooms, whatever it is you're thinking about, give us a call, shoot us an email, or check our Instagram or Facebook page. And what we'll do is we'll schedule some time to have any of the contractor teams come out, take a look at your space, give you an estimate. And then obviously you have my team as Fashionista Decor to help actually design that space. So we'll help out pick out the furniture, the colors, the finishings, and you'll have a really great finished project when it's all completed.
Absolutely. And what types of projects do you do? Do you do bathrooms and like the full house, or what can they
Yeah.
expect as it relates to that?
Yeah, so if we're talking about contractor work, these contractors that I've worked on or that I've used, they've done full bathrooms, basements. They've taken out walls to open your living spaces up. They've done kitchens. They've changed out countertops, cabinetry, decks, patios, outdoor spaces. I mean, really, these guys, there's very little that they can do. They've done roofing as well. So, the best thing is if you have a project and you have something in mind, run it by me. I'll run it through the various teams. And if one team can't do it, maybe another team can. And I'll tell you, I'm a very big proponent of if my team can't do it and they can't do it well, I'm going to tell you up front, I don't have a resource for that. So I won't, promise something that we can't deliver. But obviously with every project, we also include our design team. And so we're really excited to make sure we add our finishing touches to your overall project.
Absolutely. Well, I will give you a chance to give your contact information after Durance does his final words, and then we'll do all contacts at the same time.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
Durance, any final words that you want to show? Anything else you want to show us that we didn't get to see during our first little tour of the farm?
Yeah, just two of our prized possessions, because we're always trying to brag on our Lincoln Heights residents. And once again, I really wish I could turn my camera around. So if you've been to the Freedom Center, what we have here is our outdoor kitchen space. So if you can see above me here is our outdoor pizza oven that was built by hand by one of the residents here in the village of Lincoln Heights. He actually also built the stonework at the Freedom Center as well downtown. So his name is Mr. Hodge. So we always wanted to brag on our residents who come out here and do volunteer work. Right. And then our residents and GE volunteers did our outdoor paver space. So we'll be doing yoga, jazz in the park, Peyton Sips, and that's also the platform that our Mothers and Mimosa will be taking place. And last but not least, because we talked about our food, we talked about our soil. If you guys have those extra food scraps at your house, right? Like when your tomatoes, if you're going through and cleaning out your refrigerator and all those food they're going bad, that's good composting soil. So if you look in here, you see how we have our layers from our leaves, our apples that are broken down, and people that are bringing in, all that stuff's going to break down and become really, really rich soil. So when you're paying a whole bunch of money for that topsoil, you can really make it free for yourself by doing some small things, by saving your food scraps and putting those things behind. So yeah, that's my last word.
I cannot stand the smell of like old food. So when you were showing that, I was just like, I can't.
So we have the outside screeners for educational purposes, right? So that way we can show our kids how the composting process really breaks down. But you don't really see that in most situations. Most situations you kind of get your boxes and kind of keeps it in contained. But also the great thing about that, when you do compost, it is you're usually doing outside. It's in a contained aspect, but it also keeps your trash down. Because usually what you're doing, you're throwing that stuff in the trash. You're throwing that stuff in the trash, and sometimes that smell gets into your house. Now there's a way that you eliminate those smells. And not only do you eliminate those smells, you're also sprucing up and improving your garden and your soil health. That also goes back into your body as well, too. So composting is a great thing.
What all can they put into a composting, Durance?
So your browns and your greens, what we talk about, right? So if you're just trying to think some basics, your wood chips, right? Wood chips, paper, cardboard, those are your browns. They'll provide your carbon. And then we got your greens. So your nutrients, I mean your leftover wood weed clippings, your food. That's where you get your nitrogen from. So your carbon and your nitrogen are the main two things you're looking for. So green and browns, and we try to find a good balance between our green and browns when we make our compost.
Okay. So you
no
can put
trash,
tomatoes,
like no trash, no plastics. Yeah, tomatoes, peppers. If it's food, if it grew from the ground, now you can leave that there. You can leave that there, boss. You can leave that there. I'm gonna get my wrench. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave that there and turn the water back on. Sorry. So any type of food that grew out the ground, because you got to think those are all the nutrients it took out the ground to make that food. So as it decomposes, it then goes back into your soil as well too. So those are the things you want to think about. Not processed food, but anything that grows from the ground can now go back into compost.
Okay. Well, that's good tidbit. So with our last 5 minutes, do you guys want to give your contact information? How can people reach you? What would you want them to reach out to you for? Maybe questions or how to get to your social media?
Yeah, so you can reach Fashionista Decor via email. That's at info@fashionista.house, and house is spelled HAUS. You can also find us on Instagram at Fashionista with a H _ decor _ LLC. And then lastly, you can find us on Facebook at Fashionista Decor with the hyphen over the E. So, typically I would say if you are thinking about a home project, whether it's decor, design, furniture, or if it's a contract project, reach out to us. We'd love to schedule a consultation. We'll be able to give you a rough estimate of what we think your project may cost. We also will share with you what pieces of furniture or decor we think will complete your space. And if it's a contractor project, then we'll schedule time for our contractor teams to come out and give you their estimate as well. So anything home related, just let us know. And if we can do it, we'll let you know. If we can't do it, we can probably introduce you to a resource they can.
And Sheila, we talked a lot about home today, but I think you do commercial as well, right?
Yeah. So for some of my clients who are, bosses in the corporate arena, business owners, we've done office spaces in their corporate arena, their corporate spaces, their boardrooms where they really want to jazz it up a little bit more. So we have a far-reaching audience, and we are an MBE certified business. So we are MBE certified through the NMSDC. And obviously, you can see I'm a minority-owned business, I'm a woman-owned business, but the certification is really important because it does help us uncover additional opportunities that we may not normally have access to.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for that, Sheila. And with that, I'll turn it over to Durant to give his final words, any contact information. How can people reach you?
Yeah, you can find us at theheightsmovement.org. That's theheightsmovement.org. And then lastly, you can come to our Innovation Center. So our Innovation Center is open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's at 726 Adams Street. I'm in the Village of Lincoln Heights, and then our farm is at 1136 Jackson. So once again, find us on our website. Hit the Get Involved page, and we can talk about getting your hands dirty a little bit.
Hey, Durant, what can you tell them a little bit about the Innovation Center? I know you briefly touched on it, but what can they expect if they come to the Innovation Center? What is it? What is it not?
Yeah, so the Howard and Curlia Daniels Innovation and Learning Center was a place that the residents felt like they needed. Just a communal space where they can improve upon their skills. What we do is ask all of our residents, not what jobs you want, but what problems do you want to solve, and how can we empower you to solve those problems? So we offer financial literacy courses. We have branding and marketing opportunities where you can use hands-on cricket machines. We also have a full-fledged recording studio and TV studio with the green screen, live to tape editing capabilities, and a full recording studio as well too. So it's your one-stop shop. If you had an idea, you can come through, get your marketing ideas done, your finances done, get your commercial branding done, and then also with your 3D printers and things of that nature, make a widget to product.
And is that open to anybody, or are there guidelines around who can come to the Innovation Center? I think we lost him.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's open to everybody. I feel like it's Lincoln Heights residents or people that have volunteered or are part of the community. So again, if you want to get involved in the gardening, I think coming out on those 10 a.m. Saturday mornings sounds like a great opportunity. I know they have a big event coming up for Mother's Day to pick some of those tulips. So with that, I really appreciate you guys joining. I know he can't necessarily respond, which is hilarious to me. But thank you again for joining us, Sheila. And we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors.
Thanks for having us.
Today's episode of The Plug is sponsored by the following companies. At the platinum level, we have Suite 31. Suite 31 is Cincinnati's newest restaurant and lounge, located at 8021 Hamilton Avenue. It offers a laid-back atmosphere for 30 and over after 9 p.m. For more information, find them on Instagram at Suite31_lounge. At the gold level, we have Absolute Magic Remodeling. If you have an outdated bathtub, countertops, and or tile that needs updating, contact Mike Mitchell at Absolute Magic Remodeling, LLC. And reach him at 513-892-9226. Don't replace it, reglaze it. Also at the gold level, La Femme Noir Artistry and their upcoming event, Noir Art Blanc Elegance Art Show on May 21st. For more information or tickets, visit lafemmenoirartistry.com or call them at 822-8047, where art makes a statement through a vision. Another gold level sponsor, S. Morris Custom Homes. S. Morris Custom Homes is a custom builder for residential, commercial, renovations, and investment properties. If you can dream it, they can achieve it. Call them at 513-258-8233 for your next real estate development project. At the silver level, we have Allsop Carriers and Moving. They will pick up, drop off, and move anything for a reasonable price. Call them for your next move at 513-800-2992. And last but certainly not least, at the bronze level, Bill Ware's Yard and Lawn Services. Do you have projects you need done around the house? Landscaping, leaf removal, gutter cleaning, pressure washing, garage clean out, basement clean out, light plumbing, tree trimming, tree removal, snow removal, appliance pickup, furniture pickup, or something else? Call Bill at 513-557-0131. Also at the bronze level this month, Donnie Young, an ADT authorized provider, supplying you with all of your security needs for your home, business, and beyond. For more details, call Donnie at 513-623-0679. The Plug thanks all of our sponsors for helping us keep you connected.